2 years after the release of Elden Ring, we have a DLC to feast on, which takes us into the Shadow Realm. However, to enter the Shadow Realm, you need to beat 2 bosses. That's the prerequisite. Those bosses being Starscourge Radahn.
Oh my god! Oh my god, he got me!
And Mohg, Lord of Blood.
Yep. Fucking asshole, bro. I'm cooked. Yep. I forgot to use the physic. I think I'm cooked. Yep. This fucking bastard. Okay, I got something for him now.
Come now, touch the withered arm, and travel to the realm of shadow.
Mongrel intruder.
Righteous tarnished. What brings you here?
It was never kindly Miquella, was it? The Erdtree was leading you all along, so that you might ascend to lordship.
I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Miquella is doing here.
America, a curse upon thee.
From the get-go, the one thing to be very thankful for this DLC, at least for me, was I finally tried out some sorceries. I have been mainly using a melee build, and Mohg was giving us some trouble again. So this is what happened when I chose to use a sorcery against Mohg.
Yeah. Oh! Yo!
As clear as day. The coming of our dynasty.
Dude, that was way too fast, holy crap.
Once you're done getting your ass chewed up by Mohg and Radahn, head on to the Shadow Realm, and then get your ass chewed up by a Furnace Golem. And it hits you right at the start of the DLC like a bag of bricks. My 180 level character is probably not gonna cut it, and then a new level up system is introduced in the Erdtree fragments. I do realize that I did pronounce it Erdtree, apparently that is the right way to pronounce it, although Erdtree does sound much cooler. But those are Erdtree fragments, and you need a bunch of those, about 50 of those to get to max level, and they are a maze to find. But it is good that they introduced a new level up system, otherwise this DLC would have been quite easy. But I do think without the Erdtree fragment element, this might have been a cakewalk for certain players. Good thing it wasn't. It is an extremely engaging opening segment and a very nice reality check. To start off with, the storytelling quality does go up a little bit. The entire story of this DLC is based around you, the Tarnished, stopping a demigod's ascension to godhood, and that demigod in question is kindly Miquella. You know, whose blade Malenia had. We are trying to stop him, who looks like her, to attain godhood over here. And we find out why we have to stop Miquella from becoming a god in some very intricately, sometimes wacky quest design. So kindly Miquella is supposedly this destined prodigy who will bring peace and calm into the lands between. First red flag, if you gotta put kind before your name, you're not that kind at all. And that is the case with Miquella, which we will find out as we progress through this DLC. The first new mechanic which is introduced is the crosses of Miquella, which are not exactly a point of grace, but they are still guiding you to Miquella. What's going on at those crosses is Miquella is leaving pieces of himself. His body, his soul, his flesh, his mind, and his love as well, someplace down south in the map. And we're sort of trying to outpace him, but we're always just one step behind. You're following the crosses to catch up to Miquella. Later, it's revealed that General Radahn and Mohg's body have been used to bring back Radahn as Miquella's consort. They're half brother and sister, by the way, so George R.R. Martin, he is looking to ascend to godhood, like I said, the same way his mother did, by a secret rite at the gate of divinity. The crosses are a nice addition, and it raises the stakes as you are chasing Miquella. Around 8 to 10 NPCs have been added, completely unique to the DLC. They're much easier to catch and spot at later times than the base game too. You learn about the Land of Shadow through these NPCs who are followers of Miquella and Messmer. Some have their doubts, which is elaborated on later. The progression and exploration is like before. Literally, you can go anywhere you want, but you will be punished for not leveling up yourself with your Shadow Tree blessings, because they have a direct correlation with how much damage you're taking. The bosses will get you, the dungeon bosses will get you, the first main enemy will get you. And I'm not talking about the furnace golems. I'm talking about these fuck-ass birds. If you decide not to plow your way straight to the Shadow Keep where Messmer is, you are treated to this beautiful boss fight in the very beginning of the game, of the DLC, in the Divine Beast Dancing Lion. It is just such an interesting concept, the move set, the setting, his attacks, just an incredible opener of a boss fight. The intro cutscene is badass as well. The fact that you get his helm after you defeat him, incredible. I was rocking that helm for a long time. And the boss has a heal mechanic too. If you get caught in his grab and you heal up with an Estus or a flask of Crimson Tears, the boss will get the heal as well. FromSoftware keep managing to make that one cheap ass gimmick of a lifesteal so goddarn unique every time. We had Mohg's Nihil, we had Malenia healing on every hit, and now we have this in the Divine Beast Dancing Lion. But it does not get old, nor does it feel unfair. It's just top-notch design, just implemented differently. Divine Beast Dancing Lion is a perfect fight with a banger of an arabesque soundtrack scoring the battle. He hits you with frost, he hits you with lightning. It is an adrenaline rush and a whole lot of stuff to deal with. Everyone has a weakness, however, and the most OP status effect in this game is Scarlet Rot. That is how I got him. How did you? And I might be jumping the gun, but I just want to get it out there. The Shadow Keep is one of the best legacy dungeons that they've ever done. This single area felt so much like a Hitman map to me, just because of the interconnectivity. And just the fact that this area opens up like 40% of the map and it has like 5 to 6 bosses associated with it is just incredible game and level and map design. Incredible. I remember the entire dungeon now and how to get there, but even now I still get surprises by finding a secret elevator or a secret invisible wall. Getting back to Miquella though, yeah, I really hate this guy and his stupid sister. They come off as really entitled brats who have just been told their entire life, oh, you're so good, that you should be a god. And now they want to do these crazy things. But it's where the writing comes in through the NPCs, where you get to find out what Miquella's really up to and what his real power is. The power of bewitching people. Sir Ansbach, one of the best NPCs in the entire game, tells us a lot about Miquella, a goated character. And he has a wonderful line, which I'll play right now.
Miquella the Kind is a monster, pure and radiant. He wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. There is nothing more terrifying.
Think about that again. He wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. It's not good. He's also, again, one of the few NPCs who actually respects our character, unlike White Mask Vare calling us maidenless as we begin the game. Just the fact that Sir Ansbach and Mohg work together and White Mask Vare and Mohg work together is just so cool to begin with. That Mohg had such noble people and then such evil people working with him. And I honestly love how Mohg has beaten the allegations and has turned out to be not such a bad guy. I hated fighting him, but now I feel sympathetic towards him. So much so that I've changed my screen name to Mohg's Lawyer. I will fight for our Lord's vengeance. Speaking of vengeance, it is time to talk about the final boss. We might as well get this out of the way. It is debatable that the final boss in Shadow of the Erdtree is the hardest boss that FromSoftware has ever created. It's definitely debatable, but it shouldn't be. It is an extremely hard boss fight where you are fighting Radahn in his prime, whose soul has been transported into Mohg's body. You can see that by his shoulder pads. He has horns, the omen horns of Mohg, some omen horns sticking out of his helmet as well. And he even does a neat Mohg-like attack. The Blood Flame Talons, which Mohg did, he has a neat sword Blood Flame Talon as well. So I found that pretty neat. However, I'm having PTSD. Holy crap, was this hopeless at the very beginning. The second phase of this fight feels like a continuous 10-minute long flashbang. And again, I had to go to help from the community once again. I called some people from the state of America and I had 2 people help me. One of them was Lady Maria. I hope you're watching this. And one of them was Luna. And we did it. The strat, which seemed to work again, was staying at range and let the furled fingers keep aggro, and it worked. I kept hitting him with Destined Death and he fell. Quite poetic, actually. But after that, I had no urge to help people fight Radahn, and I was even contemplating starting a new game plus. But that itch, that question, you know what, can I beat him again? You know what, let's try it. And it's safe to say that now this boss fight, because I know the best strat to fight him, it has become one of my favorite boss fights in the entire game. But holy crap, for a newcomer, you throw this as the final boss, you can't make sense of it, man. The soundtrack in this boss fight is again incredible and something completely unique. It starts off as a battle cry or a war march. Then it becomes a prayer when Miquella walks into the second phase. And then it sort of becomes like, what if you told a church choir how to score an action movie? That is what this score feels like. And it is one of the best tracks you will ever hear. I, again, have that soundtrack on my phone. I listen to it every now and then. The soundtrack quality in this fight is peak. The music cues almost always match up with the moments you're going through, such as this. Or this.
Run! Nice. I'm coming. Very nice. Get out of there. I'm gonna go for him. He's mine. Nice. Heal up. We're gonna get him. Damn it! He's done, he's done, he's done! He's gonna go down! There! GG! GG!
Hey!
You did it, brother!
Hey!
It's so damn cool and satisfying. The track is called The Promised Consort by Shoei Miyazawa. It is an incredible piece of music, and it is structured so well and put into the fight as by the end of the track, it transitions from Radahn's song to Miquella's song to your song, the Tarnished song, right here, right now.
Gonna go for him, but the rot should get him. He's gonna come down, he should die. We got him! GG!
This segment of the track depicts hopelessness and finality so well. For the real Elden Lord, for Teolie, for Sir Ansbach, for Lord Moog. The music in this track is clearly what our demigod Miquella thinks about himself. He comes off as this angelic force of nature. Even his moves, which look like they should heal you. He rises up and a ray blasts into the ground, nuking the arena instead of healing you. That whole theme is so well ingrained in the fight that even if you listen to that track on its own, you will still be able to make up parts of the story, if not the whole story itself. This fight is awesome, and it delivers an outer-worldly sensory experience. Beating Radahn is a badge of honor, whichever way you put it. You gotta remember, you're fighting a demigod who has just attained god status as he walks out of the gate of divinity. His champion is another demigod who has the soul of another demigod in his body. So yeah, maybe that's why this boss was really hard. You're technically fighting 3 demigods at once. You bet he's gonna give us his all, and boy he does. Beating Radahn the first time will make your heartbeat go up a little. So calm down, but you will do it. Just keep going, and I will tell you the strategy on how to beat Radahn right now. So like the legend of Let Me Solo Her, there is another legend that lives in the lands between. His name, or her name, is Let Me Tank Him. This is the most optimal build you will get to fight Radahn. Radahn is weak to Scarlet Rot. Go get yourself an Ansper Rapier, get Mor's shield, get Mor's armor or something with heavy poise, and just block and poke Radahn. Poke him to death. It really works. And it's still pretty satisfying, I am not going to lie. Now the strat might be boring and one note, but it works, and anything that works is not stupid. Beating him with a shield has yielded some incredible moments as well, some moments which rival action movies. It's still an absolute theater blocking his insane attacks, poking at him, and managing your stamina. It is again an adrenaline rush, and my summon sign is always down for that fight. Here's my PSN ID if you ever need help with the Promised Consort or anything else for that matter in Elden Ring. I would love to help. The fight becomes more fun in multiplayer as well, and it makes sense that you need 3 Tarnished to stop this travesty of attaining godhood. The host needs to be protected at all times, that is our duty, but the host also has a duty himself to stay alive and to manage the aggro when we're getting overwhelmed. Or just keep healing us from afar. That is the job of the host in this fight at least. All of this is very intricate design of all aspects. Even the multiplayer fits in really well as the AI of Radahn is really unforgiving and one shot. It is a one-shot kill, by the way. But it's been such an honor and so much fun helping people get through with this fight. I've gotten so many messages saying thank you, I've been stuck on this fight for a week and all that stuff. It always feels good helping people in this game. Is it a bullshit fight? Yes. But is it unfair? Now see, that's where I struggle. I don't think it is unfair. Just like I don't think millennia is unfair either. You will feel like you've lost a piece of your humanity though, while fighting promised consort Radahn. Make no mistake about it, pick up a shield and a rapier and poke at him. Make your lives easier. Don't break a controller or your television or your PS5 over this boss fight. So if Radahn was bullshit but not unfair, what is bullshit and unfair? This guy right here, Commander Gaius. Oh Lord, the worst boss fight in the entire game, base game and DLC. What are the hitboxes on this fight? I did not get it. It felt like Goldberg hitting you a spear running from afar. It is pretty funny though. If you don't aggro him while walking through the door, you just see him chilling and he looks like a nice guy. But his attacks are just make no sense. I could not beat Commander Gaius, so I just went to YouTube and figured out a way to cheese him. And the way to cheese him is just get him stuck behind a pillar and use Mogwin's Sacred Spear. I have no shame. This guy, I was stuck on Commander Gaius probably more than I was stuck for Messmer the Impaler. Speaking of Messmer the Impaler, the DLC gives us the best fight in the entire game, base game or DLC. Messmer the Impaler is a feat.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death. In the embrace of Messmer's flame.
This fight is the definition of peak, and my appreciation for this fight came after a very long time. In my first experience with him, we got him within 10 tries, but it wasn't until I did a playthrough with a friend and we got stuck. 3 of us basically played the entire game together and we just could not break Messmer. And we just kept trying, we just kept trying over and over and over. And again, hardship is what gives meaning to the experience. After struggling on Messmer for a long time, when you finally get him, the emotions are something like this.
Nice bleed proc. Yeah! Yeah! GG fellas, finally!
It is a tough fight. He has a massive health pool and can one-shot you. I never felt dejected or saddened whenever he beat me, and he feels like the millennia of the DLC. He does have a very similar move to Waterfell, and it does one-shot you like Waterfell, but I don't know, it just felt more fairer than that attack. I learned how to dodge Waterfell now, after I've beaten the game 3 times. That attack is, yeah. The real fun of this fight does come in multiplayer, at least in my experience, as he can one-shot the entire lobby. You know, he can get 2 people up in that grab as well. It's insane. One of the most metal moves in the entire game. But the changing of aggro in the multiplayer is what creates these uniquely amazing cinematic memories, all from this DLC, such as this.
GG, man!
You'll see that I got greedy a lot with Destined Death a couple of times in this video. But this is one of those rare moments in this game that your greed actually pays off. The final strike by Messmer and myself tanking each other's attacks. Destined Death versus Messmer's Flame. Who will win? Messmer finally fell to Destined Death, and our colleague came and cleaned up the mess by hitting him with the final shot. This type of sequence is something I would expect to see in a movie or an anime, yet I was able to live through this in this beautiful game. Messmer cursing his mother, all with Tsukasa Saito's epically sad orchestra crescendoing as Messmer fades away. Mother, America, a curse upon thee. This was euphoric and it finally clicked. And the next day, like I did with Malenia and Radahn, I spent the entire day with my summon sign outside Messmer's boss door, and I got summoned for Messmer a whole lot. I was trying to help whenever I could. Incredible, incredible fight. The soundtrack on this fight by Tsukasa Saito is probably the best track in the entire game. Tsukasa Saito has been working at FromSoftware since 1998. Tsukasa-san, I hope I didn't mess up your name. The DLC has an endless list of great soundtracks in it. You can watch paint dry while listening to the music of this DLC. However, the magnum opus of the soundtrack has to be the track Messmer the Impaler. A lot of other composers have been involved with this soundtrack. I'm going to mention their names as well. We got Shoi Miyazawa, Yuka Kitamura, Tai Tomisawa, Yoshima Kudo are the other notable names to be mentioned who all chip in with the soundtrack. It is a godly piece of music which should be considered as some of the best soundtracks and scores out there, but they always get the label of, oh, they're video game music. Music is music, and good music is good music, whether it be in a video game or a movie, and this is good music. The song itself feels not quite like a remix of Radagon's theme, but an inverted version of Radagon's theme. But whereas there's an air and undertone of triumph in Radagon's theme, as it is also our theme by the time we're at the end game, this track is just about sadness and desperation and loss.
Yeah!
Naka, a curse upon thee.
Oh my god. Holy shit, I did it.
The Land of Shadow. Gorgeous doesn't even begin to describe the world that has been built over here. Please, for the love of God, make sure you play this game on a big TV. I play video games on a pretty sizable TV, and I mistakenly discovered the Cerulean Coast, and it was just one of the best moments. I was just awestruck, like, oh my god, where am I going? So you decide to venture down to the Cerulean Coast. What's this? Out of nowhere, a dragon comes into the area. Ignore the dragon and run ahead. You're somehow ending up at this massive crater which you can drop down into, and it's filled with purple mist, and it's called the Stone Coffin Fissure. You start asking yourself, where the hell am I going? The same can be said for scaling the jagged peak. At the Stone Coffin Fissure, you keep going deeper, and it leads to seemingly nothing but a cliff edge. Take a leap of faith, and boom, there's a summon sign. Holy crap, it's Theolie. I can summon him. Why? Oh, because there's a boss coming in from there, and it's the Putrescent Knight. Then after you beat the boss, you realize Miquella's other half, Saint Trina, is in another section of the cave. I just organically ended up doing so much just because I said, let's go here. I haven't been on this road before, and it opened up an entire section of the DLC and a quest line, and it gave me a cool dragon to fight. Value. The gameplay loop is still golden, and your exploration is rewarded yet again, like you just saw. Every area has something new for you to see and stuff for you to fight. Messmer's camps near the Shadow Keep, which is his castle, dead dragons while you're scaling the jagged peak, and oh my god, these absolute monsters when you're trying to get into the abyssal woods. Lots of variety over here, and you have to think on your feet a little bit. Some enemies do come out of nowhere, like the infamous birds I told you about. Those assholes you'll find everywhere, by the way. The levels seem more full of life and lived in, and there are some NPCs and some characters which you can kill, but just look in a little bit closer. You might not need to kill them. Like, check this out. This guy was just chilling, and I thought this was such a wholesome moment. And he was just chilling. I said, all right, next playthrough onwards, I won't kill anyone over here. And that's what I've been doing. It's beautiful, really, just sitting down with an NPC. The Abyssal Woods, despite being terrifying, is the only area I feel that could have had more. Aside from reaching our boss of the area, it's the only area which feels empty. It's purposefully done as we can't ride our horse Torrent here, and it does house a very powerful entity. The emptiness still doesn't feel bad, and there is a lore reason why it's so empty. And it was nice to be forced to traverse an area on foot, and the stealth sections, despite being hard, are once again extremely rewarding once you clear the area. And the boss is a reward in and of itself. It is Smidra, a Lord of Frenzied Flame. Pretty neat. I do love the consistency that wherever the Flame of Frenzy is present, there it is preceded by a very annoying traversal section. And it's nice that that consistency is there. We had the subterranean shunning grounds and now the abyssal woods. There's a new PvP trash weapon as well. It's Midra's Greatsword. Try spamming L2 in the hopes of a hit and then pretend that you have skill. There's a neat cleaver which you receive from the Putrescent Knight. The Claws of Night are another neat Wolverine-like weapon. There is another Moonveil type sword as well called the Starline Sword. The Shadow Sunflower Blossom is another great addition to goofy looking weapons. It's just a big sunflower which you can smash over people like I did to Midra over here. Check this out. On the incantation sides, we have a lot of cool ones too. Messmer's Orb, Midra's Flame of Frenzy, the Putrescent's Vortex, a very nice healing incantation that allows you to create a minor Erdtree. However, my favorite incantation has to be Rugalia's Roar. This is such a fun incantation. You literally have the roar of a bear, you transform into half a bear and roar. I've used this on Millennia to hilarious effect. It's great for invaders to stun lock them, and it just looks hilarious. I mean, look at this. Depending on when you fought Messmer, you can either head up to Bayle the Dread, which introduces us to two incredible NPCs as well. One being the Dragon Priestess, who used to serve Placidusax, and the other being the GOAT, the legend himself, Egon. But Egon makes this fight. His summon is incredible and does well to apply a few debuffs as well to Bayle. I've had the pleasure of fighting alongside Egon and convincing people to get Egon and experience it themselves as well.
This has to be it. GG? Yeah. GG? Did we get him? GG? 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 Yeah. Yo! Yeah. Cinema. Listen to Egon. Listen to Egon.
Egon.
You will haunt me no longer. That was awesome, man.
A peak fight with possibly the best, and I mean best, Phase 2 transition ever. Check this out.
Okay, Phase 2. Never gets old, oh my god.
I should have backed up. I was like, nah, I'm gonna attack him.
Oh crap.
Midra, an ex-lord of the Frenzied Flame, while an incredible fight with an incredible cutscene, I do feel that there is a connectivity problem over here. If I had decided to pursue the Frenzied Flame, I think we should have been treated to a completely different fight over here, especially if you're running a madness build. Madness versus madness. I don't know why madness is so underwhelming in this game. It can only be applied to a few enemies. I don't know why we can't apply it to a boss. Bosses shouldn't have immunity to any status effect. They should have high resistances, but not immunity. Give the bosses a incredibly high resistance, but don't make them immune. It makes all of the madness weapons useless. And maybe that's why Midra's sword doesn't do any madness buildup as well. There is a story reason as to why it doesn't do that. But again, that is a bit underwhelming. Why didn't I get a madness weapon? The incantation is really cool though. This is an excellent fight though. Don't let the criticism take away from how good this fight is. I got lucky and I beat him on the first try. And there's some stuff which I really shouldn't have been able to get away with, such as this. It's insane. I was just walking back. But Swarm of Flies is so incredibly useful and effective on Midra, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, he's an old guy. Of course, he's going to be weak to bleed. And his bleed procs are a bit different. He does have quite a 2 to 3 second stagger, and the blood just gushes out of him. It's quite disgusting, but quite satisfying as well. This is an incredible fight, but the lack of connectivity should not take it away. But that does not mean that the lack of connectivity is not an issue. It was an issue. There should have been more done with that boss fight. The summoning system in Elden Ring is incredible. Why do we play multiplayer games? Comfort, escapism, laziness, all three. It's a digital playground where you get to be a kid again. Do goofy things. It's important to be goofy people. It takes the pressure off of life sometimes. You get to do a lot of goofy stuff with your friends in this game, which is always very wholesome. The multiplayer system in this game is among the best. The complex co-op summoning and the invasions in which an invader can turn out to be either malicious or friendly is incredibly unique. It feels like a much more complex and digitalized version of hide and seek at times when an invader invades you. The community is among the best I've seen, aside from some bad apples. The people I play this game with have been some of the best people I've met online. It's unbelievably wholesome at times to have these beautiful moments of friendship, honor, and respect. And then you'll probably never see the guy again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now we can devour the gods together. Yo, how big is this guy's first phase? Stop swinging your pizza pan, bro.
Yeah, let's race.
Invasion. Oh, Drip Inspector.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Hey! Just gonna say bye to him. Oh, look at this.
Bayle the Dread! You shall haunt me no longer!
Hey!
Alright, let's fuck him up. Hey, we got Sekiro.
Hey!
You're beautiful.
I got him. Watch this. I got him. Poor old man. Oh my god! Oh my god. Dude, he's an old guy. Jesus. Just stay alive, brother. I'm gonna go for him. I'm gonna go for him. Come on, Bayle! Die! Die! GG! No way! He's still alive! Oh my god, he's still alive! Come on! I got him! I got him! I got him! GG! Oh man, I gotta save that.
Alright, get it ready, get it ready.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Watch out, I got it. No, it's okay, I'll get it. No, wait! We'll use the power of friendship.
DJ! You did it, brother. Yeah, this is the life of an Elden Lord.
Another Elden Ring, another masterpiece. And will Elden Ring Night Rain be a masterpiece as well? FromSoftware do seem to be on fire. I have a few asks for the next game, like any fan would. Miyazaki-san has been turned out to be a liar a lot of times. He said this DLC would be the size of Limgrave. It was 3 to 4 times bigger than that. He said that there would be no Elden Ring content coming out soon. Yet they announced a whole different game coming out next year in Elden Ring Night Rain. I think it'd be crazy for them not to expand on the story. I mean, this is their highest selling product ever. Here are a few things which I would like to personally see in FromSoftware's next creation. Let me hang out with my summons. The Mimic tier is a friend at this point. Let me just hang out and chill with him, even if it's at Round Table Hold. Let me hang out with my buddies at the Round Table Hold. Make it sort of a hub world, like the spaceship in Helldivers. I feel like the tech is there to build a system like this. I mean, these systems already exist. Why can't I summon someone into the Round Table Hold? Maybe we have a slew of mini games over there. That'd be pretty neat. And this final thing, I might sound off as coming greedy even after spending 700 hours on this game, and it took me 120 to beat the base game. So make your games longer. And again, the DLC is also missing some endgame stuff. It just ends with Ansbach and Teolia dead as well, even though they survived in my fight. Come on. I am currently playing Dark Souls 3 right now, and I would love to experience the summon system in that as well. So if any one of you are down to play that with me, this is my PSN. Feel free to add me, drop me a message, and we'll go slay some Lords of Cinder over there as well. Thank you so much for watching, people. If you like this, hit the like button, subscribe, obviously. It's free. And until next time, GG.